What's up, everybody? I got hair in my mouth. Ugh. Ugh. Nothing worse than a hair in the mouth. What's going on, everyone? ODC here. I'm in the middle of watching replicas. That's a little early. Well, I guess it's not really early. It's like 7. It's like 7, bro. But this is kind of a random live stream. It is my birthday today. So I picked up some figs. I did a little bit of a toy run, a physical toy run, not an internet toy run. But I actually have a story about the Jump Trooper, which I'll show in a second. I'm going to showcase everything. I'll take everything out. I know I haven't been doing it. I don't think I uploaded anything since WrestleMania, and then before that was like maybe about 2 weeks ago. Not to worry, I'm still going to be doing uploads and stuff. It's just been the transition from seasons with my job. It's just been tough. I'm not going to get into all that, but I just kind of wanted to explain where the heck the reviews have been. That and some things have been changing within my life as far as like major things happening. So there's that stuff gets in the way too. But today's my birthday. I'm not here to talk about all that stuff. I'm here to talk about toys, and I'm here to talk about toys. So, but yeah, I'll wait for some more people to pop in, and then we'll start getting to the figures. I'll show this first figure I found, or actually got on pretty cheap on eBay. I got them for like 16 bucks, 17 bucks, something like that. But this is like the rare Matt Hardy. So pretty cool. Pretty stoked about getting that rare-ish Matt Hardy right there. But I'm going to open up the first one, which is... actually, let me let my dog in first, and then I'll open up the first one, which will be Tobias Beckett. So there we go with that. Finally picked him up. I finally found him in store. I was almost going to just order him, but you know, something told me just wait, be patient. And yeah, I finally found him. He looks really cool. I actually dig his design. Looks pretty awesome, and the blasters he comes with looks pretty cool too. The face sculpt looks pretty good. You know, looks like Woody Harrelson. Can't complain about that. So I picked him up. He was actually, I got him at Walmart. He was 14 bucks. All of the Black Series figures that they had were really old, and this was the only Beckett that they had, and they were all priced down to around $14. So got him for 14 bucks. That's pretty good. I'll be right back. I gotta let my dog in. Good boy. Good boy. That's a good boy right there. That right there. Okay. All right. So let's open up Beckett. Do I have an opener over here? Yes, I do. It's a little like impromptu hangout because I actually wasn't going to do a hangout today, but I had some free time. I was supposed to do some stuff with some friends later on tonight, so I wanted to kind of hang out with you guys and shoot the shit. And oh god, I hate that noise. Shoot the shit with you guys. What do you guys think about the new Star Wars game coming out? I really hope it's not first person. That's my major thing with it. But yes. So I don't know, I might do a review of this guy. Let me get him situated really quick. I don't know which blaster I want him to have first. But still waiting on my Marauder stuff to come in the mail. It's been, I don't think it's not been 20 days yet, and they're way behind with shipping stuff. So still waiting for the stuff to come in before I can do any of those videos. I'm just kind of waiting on everything right now. I mean, as soon as I get stuff, I usually, if I plan on doing a review of it, I usually do it right away. But as far as the Star Wars figure reviews, I don't do too many of them anymore, just because I don't have that kind of audience. That's why I've been hesitant to get back into the wrestling figure reviews, because I just don't have the audience for it. Like, I even put up a poll for doing wrestling reviews, and I only got, what, I want to say 26, 27. I'll have to check the poll, but I think I only got around 26 votes, and I think around 30% of it, no, 50% of it was do the wrestling reviews. And so I don't know if I'm going to do them, but because they just simply don't get enough views. And I put a lot of time and effort into the reviews, especially giving out information about the characters and stuff like that. Like, I like to do that stuff because I know I'm very knowledgeable when it comes to wrestling. But anyway, here's Beckett. I'm sorry, I'm going way off on a tangent, but he looks really cool. Face sculpt looks really good. Very pleased with it. Thank you guys. Thank you, action figure expert or addict, excuse me. And where's my birthday suit? No birthday suit, please. But he's pretty cool. I like the jacket. Overall, I really like his design. He's got 2 holsters. I'm sure the majority of you know what he comes with at this point. But I like how it's sculpted where his coat is kind of swept over his holster. Looks really cool. That's nice. I really do like this design. Pretty awesome. So there's Tobias Beckett. If you guys want to see anything more or anything else, just don't hesitate to ask. I'm more than happy to show you anything I possibly can. I need a little bit of energy. I've been up since about 10 today. All right, so the next 2, I'll do the, do you guys want to see I'll do the Jump Trooper next. The Jump Trooper, finally. Okay, so here's the story with GameStop. All right, so I pre-ordered, and you know how GameStop does pre-orders, like you automatically, they charge you then when you do a pre-order. So I pre-ordered this guy, and never received any emails. Got an email confirmation right after I paid for it, but never received any emails that they were coming in. And then I found out that the store that I had it shipped to store, which I'll never do again, by the way, closed. And so when I talked to the girl at the other one that was closest to it, where these were shipped, because I contacted GameStop, and she said, oh, we have 6 here, but I can't give one to you. And I was like, why? I pre-ordered this stuff back in January 31st, when the pre-orders first went up. And she says, well, there's 4 of them that are pre-ordered. I go, yeah, one of them is mine. You all right over there, bud? I was like, one of them is mine, and I don't know who the rest are. She's like, none of them have names on them, though, but we have 6 in stock. I go, so, okay, so what's the problem? So the GameStop manager tells her, well, I don't know if we can sell him one of those because we don't have any information. So I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going in. So I go in, I show them my email confirmation, and my email confirmation in their, now this is the strangest thing. You ready? My email confirmation said I ordered 1. In their system it said I ordered 3. But I was only charged for 1. So they gave me 3. So, okay. So I walked out of the store with 3. I'm not going to complain about that. I ordered 1. I get 3. I've never had that done before. So, but they were kind of bucking me in the beginning. Like, the girl I spoke to, she didn't know what was going on. And then the guy didn't know what was going on. And I was like, well, I'll simplify this, okay? Here's my email confirmation number. There it is. So they looked it up. The guy didn't even look at the email. He just looked at the date of the email, and he looked at the confirmation number. He didn't look at how many I ordered. He just looked at those 2. And then he went in the system and said I ordered 2, but I only paid for 1. And I even have my receipt confirmation. So anyway, it said I ordered 3 when I ordered 1. and I walked out of the store with 3, but they were very hesitant to even give me 1, which is very strange because these have been out for, I want to say, over a week now for the majority, and I had to explain to them, I'm like, listen, your other store closed and I had it sent to that store, but since it closed, you know, obviously they don't have it in stock anymore. So this is pretty okay. So it comes with a display stand, and it comes with a E11 blaster. I'm surprised he doesn't come with like a little, it's for his foot. Like, here's this display stand. It says the Black Series, the Star Wars the Black Series. Pretty cool. And then you got this little like foothole right here. So I guess you can get him looking like he's levitating or something. Okay, whatever works. All right, so here is the figure. There's a little peg in the back of his back where you can depeg this if you want to. But you can peg that right in. And there's his jump pack on the back. Yeah, I guess it was birthday luck, you know? Score indeed. What's up, Crash Override? How you doing? How's everybody doing today? But he's essentially, I really like this face sculpt for him. It looks really cool. So very nicely done with the face sculpt and everything like that. I like the little yellow. That's how she knew it was the right one. She's like, well, I don't even know if it's the right figure. If it's the right figure, I go, is it look like a stormtrooper and does it have a yellow on the shoulder? And she's like, yeah, I think so, but it says Rocket Trooper. Where it didn't say, it only says Rocket Trooper on, wait, where's the, oh, here we go. It only says Rocket Trooper on the description. And you can't tell me that she read that description. It says Jump Trooper, and I said, do you have the Imperial Jump Trooper? This is what I'm talking about when you talk to employees that have no idea what the hell they're doing. But pretty cool logo, Imperial logo on the left shoulder. Also on the right shoulder, but that one's white. And then there you go. We got a little yellow line on the top of the head. I'm going to do a full review on this guy. Don't worry. I just kind of wanted to showcase him really quick. And then his blaster does come with some paint shading going throughout. Some little like weathering paint shading. Looks pretty cool. So good job with that. You can put it in his holster if you want to, like so. Pretty cool. I like the jetpack though. Here, let me get up and close and personal. I can show you the jetpack. Looks pretty nice. I picked up a couple jump packs that were actually replicas from Star Wars Battlefront. I think I showed them. I got them off of Shapeways a couple years ago. Those are pretty cool too. If you ever get a chance, go check out Shapeways and just type in jetpack, Battlefront jetpack, and that'll pop up. But here's the display base, and then here we have his little foot going into the display base. And I don't really. I mean, maybe it's just meant to be a display stand for him. Where's Mace and Padme? I don't have them yet. I haven't pre-ordered, but the only ones I've seen in store, there was a wave that came out early, and I picked up that's where I got the Droid Trooper way back when I did that, what was it? I think it was like a Transformers pickup when I got Trypticon. When I got Trypticon, that's when I got the Droid Trooper. And he was really the only one. It was him and, what's the other dude? I can't think of the other guy. But Mace Windu was gone at that point, and Padme was gone. I'm not really a big fan of that Padme. I have the SH Figuarts Padme, so I'm going to stick with that. I might pass on that one. I don't really like the way the face looks. It looks kind of weird. But this guy's awesome. I like this. Any trooper that comes out, that you can't really mess up a trooper. I don't understand how anyone could. But Beckett's really good too. If you haven't gotten Beckett yet, and you held out like me, and you only spent $14 instead of $21 or $24, which I think is what he's going for on Amazon, then you got yourself a good deal. This is why patience always does work out. Not really feeling this display stand though. It's supposed to fit his foot right in there, I'm guessing, is what it is. Or maybe I'm just doing it wrong. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. But there is the Jump Trooper. There is Tobias Beckett. And I got 2 Marvel Legends, which I wasn't actually expecting to pick up, but they had them at Walmart. My Walmart actually had something for once. So I got Nighthawk and I got Hercules. Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. So there we go. Open up Nighthawk first. And, all the comic book stuff I'm going to pick up. They did not have what's wrong with me? I think it was Corvus Clave. They didn't have him. He was gone. This is some sort of doohickey weapon that's going to be in the new movie for Thanos. Alright. This is a 2-piecer. Okay. Wings look pretty cool. It's got a little bubble in between his wings. Wings look pretty cool, and the wings do, or the wings. The cape does just kind of peg into his back. He does have his little claws. Just in case. Paint apps look pretty crisp. Head sculpt looks good. You can tell these are reused boots from that 5-pack, the X-Men 5-pack. Ooh, just trying to loosen them up a little bit. Just bear with me here. Loosen, loosey-goosey him up. But I think it looks pretty good. There's Nighthawk. All the people in this wave are as follow. The movie Ronin, movie Captain America. It was Ebony Maw. That's who I was really looking forward to. Ebony Maw, Living Laser, Nighthawk, Citizen V, which is, holy cow, talk about, you think this guy is obscure. Citizen V, one of the most obscure. I'll tell you this, I never thought there would be a Citizen V figure ever. I'm going to wait on him, though, maybe down the line. And then you have Hercules, which was, I think, the biggest seller between him and Ebony Maw for me. Hercules and him. It is more of his more modern-looking Hercules. I would like a classic-looking Hercules, kind of to replicate what Hasbro gave us before, which was that spray-tanned Hercules. Look horrible. But here he is. Those are his little claws right there. Looks really cool. Nice little claws. And there's the face sculpt. Face sculpt looks pretty good. Like I said, he's reusing the X-Men boots. And then we have the, from the X-Men 5-pack, excuse me. And then we have his claws, which I'm assuming are a new sculpt. The claws are not removable. They are molded into the hand. So there's that bit of information for you. Head sculpt is new. Body is on the Bucky Cap body mold, which I think works. And the cape just kind of pegs into his back as is around his neck. Doesn't really peg around his neck, which I wish it did, but yeah, pretty cool. Not a bad. I don't think it's really a bad wave. I think it's a solid wave overall. You got the Build-A-Figure actually looks pretty cool with his armor and everything. So I think it's a solid wave. I'm sure a lot of people wish that there was probably more. You got 4 comic book characters in here, one being supremely obscure in Citizen V, and then you got 3 movie figures. So I'm assuming people probably wanted maybe 4 movie figures and then 3 comic book figures. It's usually what people want nowadays, but I'm happy when we get more comic book characters because none of this shit would exist without the comics, so there you go. That's just me. Alright, let's get this stuff. I got junk all over the place. Alright, get that out of the way, and now we'll open up Hercules, 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 Hercules. Ooh, Hercules. Someone look Squidward. All right, so we got Thanos' head. Try to get in there and show you his head. I wish the quality in these videos would get better as far as It's not my camera. I just cleaned off my camera before. I wish I could like somehow, you know, get it to not focus on me and the damn figure instead, you know. But yeah, Squidward. Yeah, Ebony Moss, Squidward. Yeah, I can't wait for the X-Men wave, man. I can't wait. That is such a good wave. It might be the. I thought the Apocalypse wave was the best X-Men wave. It's like every X-Men wave is like I think it might be the best one each time one comes out. It's just because I'm so excited, so pumped for every X-Men wave, you know. Thanks, Terry Turner. Thank you to everybody who wished me happy birthday today. Thank you. I am 36 today. Getting old. Getting old. An old man. He comes with a lot of stuff. He comes with extra hands, Hercules does. Extra hands. He's got a mace. He's got a sword. There's a sword. Pretty cool. Could always use this for Mythic Legions if you wanted to. If you didn't want to have him dual wielding or whatever. And there's his mace. Looks pretty cool. You're years older than me? Well, I'm glad someone's older than me. I'm just kidding. Oh, this guy looks pretty awesome. Like I said, this is more of his more modern look. Hopefully we get his classic look down the road. I'm sure we will. He does come with 2 fist hands. There we go. And he does come with 2 holsters in his back too, so he can hold everything. Looking very manly, like he wants to go chop wood. I would like to chop wood. I would. Oh, you would like to chop wood? Okay, anyway. There's his 2 holsters. This one's for his sword. That one's for the mace. Let me just get everything in there. Zippity-doo-dah. Get that in there. And then I guess we could... I don't know how I would carry a mace on my back, but probably this way, right? Would be the correct way. That would be the right way to hold a mace because you want to be able to grab it. You don't want the blade sticking right there, you know? Maybe have it up like that. There you go. Looks pretty cool. It's a little wiggly. Not the sword, but the mace is a little wiggly right here. But still cool. I like him. He's pretty awesome. Let's get his extra hands in his hands. In his arms, I mean. His extra hands in his hands. You can put a hand inside of a hand. There we go. So you got his closed fist hand. And then you got his gripping hand for his sword. So you can have him dual wielding if you want to. Looks pretty awesome. Really like it. There's his pants are sculpted. Nice little belt logo. Looks like a lion right there. Looks pretty awesome. Really digging him. He looks cool. He's going to go great in my Avengers shelf. He's going to look cool. He is going to look cool. I like it a lot. Let's get his mace in his hand because I want him to have his mace. Come on. Come on. You'll be 20 this year? I wish I was turning 20. Holy shit. I wish I was turning 20. I would actually maybe 21, you know, for obvious reasons. Yeah, you could even put this guy with your Mythic Legions. He'll probably stack up perfectly with a Mythic Legion if you wanted to, you know. Most Marvel Legends usually stack up okay with Mythic Legions. Just depends on who you go with. I want to say, I don't know what body he's on. I want to say this is an all new body. Like here's Bucky. Here's a Bucky Cat body. And let me go foot to foot here. And he's larger than him. He should be. So I want to say that this is maybe a new body. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm perfectly fine with being incorrect. I'd rather be corrected than sound like an idiot. But I'm pretty sure that this is a new body. I don't remember seeing this type of or size body with anyone else. So pretty awesome, man. Pretty awesome. Cool stuff. Cool beans. Got Nighthawk there. He'll go well. He's a little bit back heavy due to his cape. But here's the arm that Nighthawk comes with. You can show the arm with the. I do like his armor. Who else did they have there? Let me see. They had the Living Laser, and they had Citizen V there, and none of the movie figures were there. They were all gone. They were all gone. I would have liked to get the Captain America and Ebony Maw because I want to finish that whole group off. Group off. Let's have a group off. Just kidding. Oh, he's knocking stuff over. Axis of Evil? Yeah, I know. I concur, sir. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped about the new Black Widow 2-pack. Looks good with the double jointed arms. I know. I saw that. Looks pretty cool. I saw that Black Widow from Infinity War started popping up at Walgreens for some reason. It's very odd. It's like they just pick their distribution. Sometimes they're just so random. Hey, don't start that. Don't even start that. Go on your couch. Go. 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 You're being defiant. It's being defiant. Okay, so there we go with that. Let's get all this packaging out of the way, and I'd like to talk to you guys, because that's the real reason why I wanted to do this video, was to kind of hang out with you guys. And where is the... Okay, there we go. Sorry. I'm trying to get situated here, so I apologize. If you guys have any questions, you want me to show you anything else with the figures, let me know. He's playing with his... Of course, he's got to make the most noise whenever I'm doing something, right? That's what you got to do. Go get your bone. Go get it. Go get your bone. Go get your bone. Good job. He's really smart. Don't push it underneath the couch. What are you doing? You like the Infinity War Black Widow? She looks good without the vest. I was going to get her, but I have to check myself, because sometimes I want like movie figures to look so good. I'm like, oh man, I really want that movie figure. But I have to check myself and be like, no, stick to the plan. No movie figures. The money I could be spending on a movie figure, I could spend on a comic book figure. I'm more of the comic book figure collector. So I have to check myself sometimes. Sometimes I want them. Then I have to be like, no, don't do that. Except for like exceptions, like Ebony Maw, like I said, or the rest of that whole crew. I believe it's like the heck is the top of this thing go? Oh, there it is. But figures that probably won't get a comic book release if they got a movie release because of the obscureness. Maybe they'll come out with like they'll surprise me and come out with like a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive box set of them. I could see them doing that because they probably wouldn't sell that well in stores as a group. So I could see that being maybe a comic pack or something like that, all in their comic-looking decos. All right, so I want to hang out with you guys. So let me get comfortable. Let me get my couch situated. I'm gonna get some cushion for my back. All right. What would I like to show? It's my birthday. I mean, I've showed everything. Let me get his gun in his hand. I really like this Jump Trooper. Like, I'm so pleased that I ended up getting more than one, because I'm definitely gonna have to display multiples. What do I think of the Superstar shakeup? don't know. Overall, with the whole shakeup, it was okay. That's where I find myself saying a lot about um, the new era movement, or the new era movement. Sounds like some sort of social media thing. Uh, the new era, the new quote era. That's what they're calling it for wrestling, for WWE. But I thought it was okay. But I find myself saying it's just okay a lot. Like, I don't know. It's fine. I don't know. They just pretty much put AJ on Raw and Roman on SmackDown. Which, if I'm Kofi Kingston, your time's almost up, bud, with that belt. I would enjoy it while you can, because it's only a matter of time before they put that shit back on Roman Reigns. So, do I like the Viking experience? I like the tag team. I hate the fact that they felt the need to change the name. I don't really understand the thought process behind it. I read Road Dogg's tweet saying that, everyone's throwing convulsions over, or everyone's having convulsions over the name change. Just, you'll have to get used to it. And it's like, this is my theory, and I tweeted back to him. I said, if you feel the need to defend it, then there's obviously something wrong with it. Just saying. It's logic here. They were established as the War Raiders. I don't really see what the point of changing their name and their own names was. I thought that was pretty stupid on WWE's part. It's mostly probably Vince McMahon and creative doing that. But if Triple H went through all the trouble to establish them as a specific name brand, and people know them and they're chanting war, doesn't make much sense to really change the name. And it's a shitty name on top of that. The Viking experience. I don't know. I'm just... Yeah, War Machine. I knew they weren't going to go with War Machine because that was a Ring of Honor name. But, you know. War Raiders wasn't a bad name, but they don't want to use war on television. That's the problem. Is that, with everything being, excuse my French, pussified now for everyone on television or in social media, no one can say or do anything that has to do with, like, I can't even put on a title for YouTube. I can't even put, what was it? I got flagged for for saying decay on my YouTube title for the Advent of Decay figures. All the Advent of Decay figures, they all got flagged. And I had to put in under review, and send that to YouTube so they could review that my content isn't anything horrible. It's just the name of the title. They're toys. So, I mean, that's everything now. Everything is pussified because people have to walk on eggshells with everything they say or do nowadays. In some cases, it's warranted. On certain cases like this, where we can't say certain things, that's horse shit. I'm sorry. So, they don't want to say war on television, even though they said Raw is war on television for, I don't know, going on almost 10 years? Now all of a sudden it's a problem. You can't say War Raiders. You just call them the Raiders then. I don't get it. Anything but the Viking experience. Awful. That's my little rant on that. Sorry. But yeah, that's how. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, it is. But that's how YouTube and that's how TV is now. That's how everything is. They can get away with stuff if it's like a network, kind of like the WWE network, kind of like Star Wars. I feel like Star Wars, like Disney having their own exclusive brand, they could get maybe a little bit more grimy with it, throw in a little more cursing, swear words, making it a little bit more adult oriented, which I think Disney needs to do more of, seeing as that they almost own everything at this point. Hopefully they don't own Transformers. Thank God they don't own Transformers, and they don't own the Hasbro brands, because I could see them pussifying those too. Sorry, that's my word for the day. even if the title says Star Wars. I think they can get away with it if it says Star Wars. I don't know. It depends on the bots. They have automated bots that go around just checking titles and checking. I think was it 30 seconds into a video, and then midway to the video, and then the end of the video. They have bots just checking for specific things. Like if I were to use the F word constantly throughout my video, I would probably get. I wouldn't get flagged, but I'd probably get put on the unrestricted list, which means not everyone would be able to see my video. Therefore, it would hinder my viewership. But that's what they do. They don't. The Google owns YouTube, and ever since Google started owning YouTube, it's just gone way down into the shitter. So, my other question is that what happened to the Undisputed Era after Cole's loss to Gargano? I don't think anything's happened to them. There hasn't been a whole lot going on with NXT. The last two shows were kind of mail-ins, as I like to call them. They're kind of the floaters right after the big show happened. There wasn't really much that went on. They introduced a couple new characters, and they're starting the new era for NXT, because really the big hitters right now are Gargano and Adam Cole. I mean, they took away Ricochet and Aleister Black, so that's two main eventers right there. And now you've got to focus more on Velveteen Dream, and you've got to focus more on what the hell is his name? MMA dude. I can't remember his name. The Bro. I'll just call him the Bro. They got to focus more on him, and they're going to have to start bringing those guys up a little bit quicker than they would expect. But it happens with the transition with wrestling. I don't necessarily know what they're going to do with Ricochet and Aleister Black. I feel like they should be separated and not a tag team. Matt Riddle. I always forget his name. I don't know why. I just call him the Bro all the time. I like their new title theme too. Yeah, it's definitely Triple H's touch. Triple H is more of a metal dude. I like it though. It's good. Good stuff. Thank you, Dale. Dale, thank you for saying happy birthday. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for the birthday wishes. I don't want to miss anybody's questions or anything like that. So was Walter and Tony Storm? That should be good. Do you know who they're facing? I'll have to check it out. I know NXT was last night. I didn't have a chance to check it out. I worked late last night, so. But yeah. What was it? I was going back and I was watching the Forgotten Year, as I call it. Everyone always remembers 2002 for people coming back and leaving, like Austin leaving in 2002, Brock Lesnar debuting, Shawn Michaels coming back in 2002, Triple H becoming the first World Heavyweight Champion. And then I call the Forgotten Years 2003 because, I'll be honest, in 2003 I kind of took off that year. I didn't watch wrestling for that whole year. I knew what happened, and I knew what went on, and I watched all the pay-per-views, but I went back and rewatched the whole year. And within, I want to say, those have been my kind of the two eras I've really been kind of discussing as far as doing like more of those the wrestling podcasts I put on my Facebook page. So if you guys want wrestling content, it's all on my Facebook page. Go check that shit out if you want to. But I went back and I watched all of 2003, so that's a video coming up soon, and kind of my year review of the 2003 and kind of how it was maybe underrated. I mean, the big hitter was, Goldberg and Rock at Backlash, and no one ever talks about that. No one ever talks about Goldberg and Rock at Backlash, and that should have been a bigger thing at the time. Like I remember hearing about it because a couple of my friends that are wrestling fans told me about it back in 2003, and I was just like, okay, Goldberg's probably gonna win, and Rock's gonna leave because at that time we all kind of knew Rock was towards the end anyway. But no, Woodman, I still haven't gotten it. They're 20 days behind as far as Marauders go. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked about the Keanu Reeves head. This way, I don't have to buy that other one from Eagle Force. But the other era was what was it? 1997. I still think to this day, 1997 was the WWF's most important year as far as what it paved the way for the future of that company. 97, I would say 96 going into 97, or actually I'll just say 96 and 97 were the two pivotal years. Even though 96 didn't make the company a lot of money, would you cut it out, please? I'm trying to do something, please. Even though the 96 was not their money-making year, 97 was like a big deal. It was kind of the beginning of the turning point, and sculpted the Attitude Era, which it wasn't technically the Attitude Era. Everyone thinks that 97 is the Attitude Era. It's not. Attitude Era doesn't begin until 1998. But it's your birthday? Yes, it is. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks, Action Figure Expert. Probably gonna ship tomorrow. Yeah, I'm still waiting, Terry. It's been quite a while, man. Hopefully soon. Because I just put in the order about a week ago. It's only been 7 days, so. But I have 2 characters coming, so that should be fun. I normally don't drink coffee, so whenever I drink coffee, I'm like wired because I never drink it. Yeah, all the dogs, man. All the dogs are awesome. They're so good. So, yeah, if you get a chance, go get one. I was trying to get Soul Drum to get one because he won the redo for the contest because the other guy never contacted me. But I was like, yeah, man, if you're gonna put in an order, get a dog. At least try to get one dog. Those are the best dog action figures out, period. It's got the best range of motion, the best articulation, it's just the best looking. I can't wait for us to get more different style heads and tails for the dogs. It'd be great because I'd like to make one of him. This gentleman over here. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. Can't wait for you guys to see what I have coming from Marauders. It's gonna be awesome. You guys are gonna love it. You want a shepherd? Yeah. I think the shepherds and the huskies are the 2 biggest sellers. When are the horses? I think the horses are supposed to drop with it, but by summer. Everything is starting to. I'm starting to notice that everything is coming May, June, July, August. All those months, everything is coming out. The X-Men wave's coming out. The new boss fight figures are coming out. What else? New Star Wars figures are coming out. That whole wave with Mace is coming out. The next wave of archive figures are coming out during the summer. Everything is coming out in the summer. It's insane. It's like the summer of figures, you know? Yeah, I got a couple of the new female head sculpts. They're pretty good. They're improving more with the eyes. The first wave with the eyes, I had a couple that were a little goofy looking, but they're getting a lot better with the eye paint. am I gonna grab some of what the new female ones from Marauders Woodman? Oh, the horses. Um, I would like to get a couple horses because I would like to get some of the chicken fried toys, cowboys that they have coming out, or the Western toys. I would like to get them for some of them. I'd also like to get one for my king over here. That would be pretty awesome. But yeah, so yeah, definitely, I would love to get a couple of those. It'd be sweet. Yeah, the horses. Yep. Thanks, Val. Thank you. Appreciate it, bud. Seems like a friggin' like double-sided axe, like a windmill axe. I'm waiting for some new hairstyles too. Buzz cuts, mohawks, bobs. Yeah, that would be cool. Hey, the more the merrier, I always say, you know? This would be like a back scratcher now, you know? Yeah, the chicken fried toys, they look awesome, man. I can't wait to pick a couple of those up. Um, I'm kind of weary as to who's going to get their hands on them. Hopefully, usually Kokomo Toys has a does pretty well with boss fight style figures. Whether it's well, I don't think they get Marauders, but I'm hoping that Chicken Fried Toys opens up their own store, kind of similar to what Marauders does, and makes their stuff more available. I know that their end goal wasn't met with all their stretch goals and everything, but their overall goal was met, so maybe that's enough for them to make it. Marauders was definitely still, when they came out with their first Kickstarter, they were definitely more successful than Chicken Fried Toys. You gotta understand, it's kind of like a very niche action figure group. You know, not a whole lot of people want just, you know, cowboy style figures, you know. I do, but I understand a lot of people don't. I know Tombstone, man, is such a good movie. I can't believe that movie came out in '93. God, I remember seeing that in the theater with my dad. He's like, "All right, we're gonna go see Tombstone." I'm like, "What the hell is Tombstone about?" He's like, "Okay, Corral." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Yeah, I remember seeing that in the theater. It still looks great. It still holds up. Still looks fantastic. You know, the one-liners in that are fantastic. My favorite one-liner is, "Well, bye." What a dick. What a dick. Kills his brother. Basically destroys his other brother's arm. And he's just, "Well, bye." Yeah, I've seen it 1,000 times too. It's so good. It's such a good movie. So good. Was it? I'm watching that. I'm like in the beginning phases of this movie. You can tell it's a lower budget Keanu Reeves movie, but it's called Replicas. So he basically plays a neuroscientist, and he's trying to take the consciousness, the brain activity of a human, and digitally take that and put it into like robots and stuff. It's essentially a robot, but it's basically your mind inside of a robot's body. It's not like taking the brain. It's not like RoboCop where they take his brain and spinal cord and put it into a like RoboCop 2 style. It's essentially just your brain functions, your brain activity being digitally put into like the entire body of a robot. So it's pretty interesting, but I'm at the scene. I'm at a specific scene where everything is kind of changing into cloning now. So I'm like, what was the point of the beginning? But whatever. I'm still not through I'm not even halfway through. Oh, it's like, what was it? Just under 2 hours, the movie. Was supposed to get your Pursuit of Cobra Joe's traded for today, but the package got delayed. Ah, oh, that sucks. Pursuit of Cobra still the best Joe line out of all the Joe lines. Big 35 for you, Ben? You turned 35 today? I turned 36 today. But if it's your birthday too, hey, congratulations. And I don't want to cheers without a beer. I don't have any beer here. I don't want to cheers with water. So I'll cheers with a little bit of this Frappuccino left. But thanks, Ben. Appreciate it, bud. What else did I get? I didn't get anything. I bought another water. That's about it for today. The Magnificent Seven with Denzel was good too. I haven't seen that. That's what I love. I love these like forgotten movies. Like this movie I know came out in select theaters because it didn't have a big budget behind it. And I heard kind of some people liked it, some people hated it, some people thought it sucked, you know. But I can't, like Keanu Reeves, as far as like people on this earth that I think are just awesome and amazing people and just cool and people that I'd like to just sit down, have a beer with and just talk about life, he's one of them. Like he's definitely one of them. One of the most chill people you'll ever see. Like, what was it? There's a whole bunch of like Keanu Reeves, like he'll just like be at a supermarket, just like dressed normal as fuck, or sometimes what was it? He purposely dressed like kind of like bummish. And these two girls saw him, and they were just like Keanu Reeves, and he's just like, "Oh hey guys, what's up? Oh you want to take a photo? Cool." Firefly, Low Light, Dusty, and the Jungle Viper. Woo, that's some good pickups right there. Especially that Dusty. That Dusty is yes. A lot of people got confused when I did the top 10 Pursuit of Cobra figures and I didn't put Dusty in there. Like, how could you not put Dusty in there? I'm like, guys, he's like one of my favorite figures I own, period. Like, I wanted to do a top 10. Like, everyone got on my case for that video, and I was like, I'm trying to do a top 10 without him in it. Because it's like, I'm just going to put him at number 1 because I'm being subjective here. Yeah, Dusty's an awesome figure. I'm surprised he doesn't go for just as much as, like, because I think he's perfect for an updated version of him. Like, everything he comes with is perfect. Everything. He's just the perfect Dusty figure if you want an updated Dusty, you know? Yep. Unfortunately, after the Pursuit of Cobra line went, you didn't have much to root for after that. Maybe a couple figures in Retaliation, and that was about it. Which is unfortunate, but you know how things go with the Hasbro. Yeah, he's perfect for that. He is perfect. Everything, like I said, everything he comes with is just solid. Just solid. The cape, I love the little cape he comes with. And I even like the texture of the cape. It's kind of like that. How do I compare it to something? It's kind of like, like how some tablecloths are like that. That fabric. I don't even know how to explain the fabric. It's like a see-through fabric, but it's got that texture to it. I don't even know how to explain it, but I guess I tried to explain it right there. But yeah, it's like kind of like a mesh material. Yeah. Little bit, but it's like kind of cloth, like a thin cloth, but it's like you can see through it. It just works so well, and how it's tattered, it's perfect. It's just perfect. Like he's been through a battle, you can tell. The helmet, the goggles, the vector that he comes with, the other gun, which is pretty cool too. I kind of wish that he would have came with maybe a little bit of a medium to long range rifle. That would have been my little addition to it, but he's always been kind of an assault rifle dude, so I don't mind it what he came with. Came with that kind of like futuristic looking shotgun. I think it's technically a shotgun, that thing. I don't know for sure. Like I said, I'm not a gun nut. I know a little bit about guns, not a lot, so You finally finish up your Joe Defiant. That's awesome. You did a full restore on it. That's great. Did you? How many parts did you have? Did you have like the ballast, and did you have or did you just have the ship itself? The two ships, I mean, or the thruster? I think it's the thruster, and then the ship too. Oh, am I gonna pull out of my Joes now? No, that shit's upstairs. I'm not going. I'm not pulling that shit out now. That would be too much. That'd be too much. It's too much work. Thanks, Zorpox. Appreciate it, brother. And thanks to everyone who said happy birthday on the. Well, it was actually Strident that initiated it, so thank you to him if he's watching this. Thank you so much. I'm gonna try and hang out with him this weekend. But yeah, he actually said it on the Strident page, so I appreciate everybody who said happy birthday. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. You're doing YouTube reviews? I'll have to check you out then, bud. I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed to you. The blue doors were a pain to get. Oh yeah, that's the toughest part to get, I think. That and all the little guns that go around. I think it's the guns right near the front style canopy or the side mounted canopy. And then there's guns. What was it? On the top where the blue doors are. And then there's guns pretty much like all around. They're all like red guns. But yeah, that's quite an undertaking. I know because I went through that with a few of my Joe vehicles and such. Is that Columbus Toy Expo coming up soon? There's one that happens around this time, and I was gonna go to it, and I was gonna see if Strident wanted to, meet up, or if I was gonna stay with him or whatever. I don't know. But he's actually got his own show he's going to, and I think that's what he's doing actually this weekend. That's probably why he won't be able to hang out. But I forgot about it. I actually forgot he has his own show going on. But there's another one in September, and I usually go to that one. So I was trying to hit it up twice, but then again, I'm going to try and hit up the Columbus Toy Show like I do every year. It's like tradition for me and for Strident to hang out. And then I'm going to try and hit up New Jersey Comic Con because I think there's one later on towards like November or December. So I want to hit up that one because I know the Four Horsemen will be there and I want to check that out. And I know Marauders is always there. So I want to check out both of them when they're there. And I think at this one, I don't think the Four Horsemen are going to be at this one. At least Corn Boy's not going to be there. But I'd like to kind of like pick their brain, kind of chat them up, It was your Grail, the Defiant your Grail, yeah. I'm happy, man. I got my Grail. I got the Terradrome, so I'm good. I don't know if I have any other Grails. I'm trying to think. Maybe the Flag because I always wanted it as a kid, never got it. Not that I'm trying to sound like a spoiled brat or anything like that, but it's just something I always wanted. But I don't know how much I want that thing now. Like I always go back and forth on it. I'm always like, yeah, I want to get it. Then I was like, yeah, I'll build my own and save a lot of money. Then I go back to, yeah, I want it. I don't know. It's like a weird thing. It's kind of like I'm constantly fighting if I'm going to get it or not eventually. Maybe down the road. I don't know. If I get more room somewhere, if I buy a larger house. But thanks, Zorpox. Yeah, I'll definitely check out your channel, man. Did you just starting to upload videos? Yeah, no, I don't mind if you link your channel. That's fine. Go ahead. If any of you guys want to link your channels or whatever you want to do, go ahead. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Whatever helps you. If this platform will help you, that's perfectly fine with me. I could care less. Doesn't hurt me. It's not hurting me any. I'm just here to have fun. Like if you have videos and stuff that you guys want people to know about, go ahead and I don't care. Link the shit. I don't care. Yeah, it is. It is large, and I'd have to get like the. I don't know. I'd want to do if I did get a flag. I'd want to like do my own way because I know a lot of people do the whole kind of skateboard style where it'll roll on the ground. That's acceptable. I mean, that's acceptable as far as whatever you want to do. I'm not judging anyone. You want to do that? Go ahead. I don't care. You know, that's the GI Joe bird does that, and that's fine. You know, I'd want to do something a little different though. I want to do it where it's raised up and you can rotate it. So I'd want to devise some way to have it move, but also be able to rotate the thing and have it up in the air so you can it can be like hip level, you know. That's what I want to do, but I have to before I even attempt to get a flag, I have to do. I have work planned next year, and I'm still saving up. That's why I say, not technically next year, but like the winter time. It's almost like next year, where I'm knocking that wall down. I'm gonna make one big room for the collection, and then everything will be in that one big room. And then the centerpiece will be. I'm gonna have a wrestling display set up with a table in the center, and then I'm gonna have another table in the center. That's where like I'll put the Terradrome, and then I'll have like centerpiece tables where all of my major important pieces will go. So like I'd like to have what else is another big piece? Like the TIE fighter, the large, huge TIE fighter that's enormous. Um, just big centerpieces that you have. Like I'd like to put the Joe headquarters down there. Might actually sell my other headquarters. I don't know. The '90s one I have the orange and gray one I have. I don't know if I necessarily want that anymore. It takes up space and I don't know. I like it. It's cool. I could combine it with the other one, which I probably could do. I should do. But what I don't know. I'm still a lot of rattling around up here. I can put that on the Home Improvement Network. I know, right? Building a collection room. What's the topic today, ODC? Well, I showed off some figures I picked up. It's not really a topic. It's just kind of wanted to hang out with you guys for a little bit on my birthday. No, it's important to me to hang out with you guys. I picked up Tobias Beckett for $14 at Walmart. Couldn't beat it. And then I explained the whole. I know you probably came late. That's okay. No big deal. I picked up Nighthawk from Walmart also, and he was 1884 or some weird price like that, and so was Hercules over here. And then I got my Jump Trooper finally from my pre-order, but there was a confusion, a little mix-up. I'll make a long story short. I had to call them about my pre-order because I never received. I got an email confirmation back in January when I placed the pre-order and I only ordered one figure, and then I never got an email saying that my figures came in, but they did come in. But the store that got my pre-order, I know this is weird. The store that got my pre-order closed, so that pre-order went to this other store. I had to call that store. I call them. They tell me, no, I can't get them. I go there with my email confirmation. I'm like, yo, I already paid for this. I'm leaving with this order today. I know you have 6 of them in stock. It says it on your website. And they were like, oh, okay. Well, it says you ordered 3. And I was like, okay, I ordered 3 then. So I paid for one and I got three. Okay, whatever. That works for me. So I walked out with three of these jump troopers. They look really awesome. There's the little jetpack on the back, and we got his little insignia and shoulder pad on that side, and that side looks pretty cool. I like all the hoses and stuff, and they're a pretty pliable plastic. They don't feel like they're going to disintegrate or anything like that. Feels nice and solid. So that I did that. I also placed a small order for some ketchup figures. I like to call them, not actual squeeze ketchup, but catching up figures that I kind of put off buying. So some older Black Series figures, not too old. Most of them are from the Solo movie that I wanted to pick up because I wanted to finish that wave off. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with these four pickups right here. I picked him up off of eBay. Picked up this Matt Hardy in his heel attire run. His short run with this attire, I think this was from WrestleMania 25, where he faced Jeff. He turned heel on Jeff. It cost him the title, and then Edge became champion. Oh boy. ODC, you got the rest of the NECA TMT. Now, I haven't gotten any. I was supposed to get the Donatello set from a friend, but then he went out of town, and he was like, I still have the set, and he came back, and he's like, see, I still have the set, do you want it? And then I just was like, nah, I don't, I just, I have, what I have is, I'm perfectly happy with it. If I eventually get them down the road, cool. I might pass for now, just because I don't necessarily like the prices that they were marked at, even retail. I felt like they should have been $40-$45 would have been the right price point. I know they come with a lot of stuff, and they come with cloth, and their NECA figures usually go for $25 anyway, but for a 2-pack, if you're going to sell it in store, I kind of feel like they should have been around the $40-$45 price points, but I'm going to spend $250 on all the sets to get everyone. I'm still, I don't know. If I never get them, I'm not gonna cry over it. I'm not gonna be upset that I never got them. It's not a big deal. And essentially, if you spend $250 on the Target set, you could just buy the San Diego Comic-Con one for almost the same price. So it's not really like you're saving any money, really, that much. I don't know. And I'm happy with the turtles I have. And actually, I was talking to Stryden about this, and I was like, you know what I'd like to do? I would love, actually, I'll replace that, not like, but I would love to just start putting money towards the vintage figures, the vintage Turtles figures. And I have some vintage figures left. I have like a couple. And then I had a Technodrome. I don't know where it is. I went over to my mother's house and now I can't find it. I did that whole video explaining what the hell happened there with that. I don't know. But I would love to just start trying to accumulate some of those, and that would be another centerpiece I would love to have. I'd love to get their layer, the sewer layer again. I had that as a kid. I had the Terrordrome as a kid. I had a lot. I think I still have their what the heck were their names? That the kind of like 50 style car that would float from Dimension X. But I would love to start getting some of the vintage figures back and having that back in my, because that was a big pivotal time for me as a kid with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I had almost every single one, and I adored those figures so much. And as much as like the NECA Turtles are awesome, for me it's like, and I usually don't collect, like you guys see me, like I collect more modern figures than anything. That's like the one line where I wouldn't mind getting a lot of vintage figures, I get a lot of vintage Joe vehicles and playsets, but all my Joes, for the majority of them, are modern. So, that would be one line where I would go all ham ham, egg and cheese on getting. I said that weird. I would go ham, egg, and cheese on getting the vintage figures, and that's something I would like to do if I start re-budgeting my money. But that budget, see, that's the thing. Having a budget, you gotta stop. You gotta take away from something else. So it's I just got an order update on a special item that I picked up for a really good price. I won't say what it is until it comes in, but it's awesome. It's Star Wars related. It is Star Wars related. Sorry. I even had the pizza shooter. I had the pizza shooter. I had the van. Oh, I really was like, I loved that line so much. The vintage Playmates line. It was just so good. So much thought process went into that. So much imagination went into that, and it just worked. The more ridiculous it got, even what was it, the ooze bath, where you had the little it was kind of like a little bed, right? And it was green, and it had a sticker in there, and it had like gross things on the sticker to make it look like a gross bed, and then you'd slide the bed underneath this thing. You'd pour the ooze in the top, and then you pour this little lever. It was like a little sliding lever. Pull that lever, and then the ooze would slowly drip down on one of your Ninja Turtles. And I remember this distinct. Do any of you remember the distinct smell of that ooze? It had I'll never forget it. Like if I ever smell it again, it's like it's got a distinct smell to that. So cool, so cool. So many awesome memories with my Ninja Turtles. I miss them so much. I really do. Like I have the what was it, the OG4, and I'd like to pick up. I would like to pick up everyone I used to have, like the Rat King, all those Dimension X characters. Man, I love the Dimension X characters so much too. They were so cool. Turtle Takeover. Yeah, if I do this is the other thing that I want to do with the Turtles. This is the kind of the plan for the future of my channel. I want to do all refurbish everything. I'll get the figures complete. The figures will all be complete. Whether they're loose or mint on card, I don't care. I'm going to open them. I'm going to open them because all the mint on card turtles that I have. I don't need any more. I have Donnie, and I'm good. As long as I have Donnie mint on card, I'm good. I'm happy. But I will get all the turtles complete. But when it comes to the vehicles, I'd like to pick up the vehicles incomplete and then refurbish them, make them look good again. That's some of the fun that comes with kind of like what Retro Blasting does. That's why I love their channel so much. The dude is awesome, honest, true, and he just has fun. You can tell he has a lot of fun refurbishing stuff, and I really do respect that a lot. And that's the stuff that I love to do. I like to take something that was a gem or something that not a lot of people really got into or knew about, and kind of bring that into my collection, give that the spotlight, and then if it needs refurbishing, refurbish it, because that's part of the fun of collecting. Getting a little piece of the puzzle, like even if you just got, I started off with this Thanos head, and now I finally found the little pieces of the puzzle to get him complete. That's the funnest part about collecting, is doing that. Instead of just pre-ordering everything, which is easy to do. Yeah, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. That's true. I mean, maybe down the road, I would love to track down all the NECA Turtle sets. But I mean, between the movie ones, which are, I think, besides some articulation points and some joint issues, I think the way that they look is just perfect. I'm staring at them right now, and all the figures that are super, super, super important to me are down here with me, so I can if I ever get bored of something on TV, I can just kind of peek over, take a look at them. Turtle Takeover would be cool. Yeah, the Technodrome was one of my favorite vehicles. So awesome. It was definitely not in scale, but it wasn't meant to be, you know. Yeah, refurb is so much fun to do, and that's the best part. Like you gotta have something to look forward to doing. You know, like it's easy to just buy the whole set of everything, and if I wanted to, I could find a whole lot on eBay with all the turtles, everything, and save up money to buy that. Do something like that. Like that's easy to do. But taking your time and just finding, you know, a little piece of the puzzle and then building on that. And that's what drives you as a collector is that you want to have that fun. You want to look for it's something to look forward to essentially, you know. It's a lot of fun to do. That's the I still think, you know, besides all the complete figures I have, the incomplete ones are the most important to me because it gives me that much more fun to look forward to the future. That and I'm always looking, I'm trying to think of new ways, and this is why I kind of run into a brick wall creatively with my channel. Um, I don't, I hate just doing the same thing over and over again. I want to give you guys something fun, fresh, and new to feast your eyes on. And while I do enjoy, like I say this a lot, I do enjoy doing the regular reviews. I kind of get sick of them. I'm not gonna lie. I love doing them and I love discussing them, and that's why I try to do a lot of live reviews. I tend to do those, even though the quality is not as good. I understand that, but I can interact with you guys. I can hang out with you guys. I can discuss the figure in the moment, you know, and that's cool. Other people have done live reviews before I have. I understand that, but I'm still creatively thinking of what I can do, something that's different to do constantly. And it's so tough because you know the ideas that I've had, like that the one idea where I just spotlight a figure for under 5 minutes, 5 minutes or less, and discuss why it's one of my favorite figures, or just not even discuss it, just kind of give it the spotlight and tell you, this is to me one of my favorite figures. So I'm still kind of working on what I want to do with that. I'm trying to devise a list before I get into that. Like I don't want to just go into it without a plan. Like I need a plan before I'm going into it. So I'm kind of looking at all of my figures, and this is tough to do. You know, um, look at all the figures I own, and then pick out, what's my essentially my top 20 figures that I own. You know, to me, out of all the figures I own, what would be in my top 20 or 25 or whatever. Because I don't want to make the series too long. I want it to be a short, definitive series, and that's the cool thing. It'll also be something cool to look back on for myself, as much as hopefully you guys enjoy it too. It'll be cool to look back on and see like, oh well, that's not my favorite figure anymore, because that happens. Your opinions change, and that's the cool thing about having opinions, that you can change them. As opposed to having like a belief of something, you can't really. It's kind of hard to change your beliefs. Something major usually has to happen, but an opinion, that's easy to change. Sorry, I'm going way. I'm like. Action Figure Addict said the Brood. Oh wait, I'm sorry. You got to grab the Entrance Greats Jeff, or am I going to grab the Entrance Greats Jeff, or the Elite 67 Jeff, or the Brood? I already pre-ordered the Brood 2-pack, which is awesome. I think if you're gonna get like one set of the Hardys, that's the set to get. Yeah, I'm still collecting Mythic Legions. I'm still collecting them. I didn't get too many from the All-Star wave because I essentially had the majority of the first wave. So, besides Pixis, I don't really care to get Pixis though. But yeah, that Brood 2-pack looks amazing. It looks awesome. I don't know if I'm going to get the Entrance Greats Hardy. I'm still on the fence with that. If it does drop down to around the $20 price point, I think I'll probably pick it up. But for now, I have, what was it? That WWEshop.com exclusive that was supposed to be released that never did get released. I have that 2-pack. I don't think I have any other Jeff Hardy, to be honest with you. I'll probably pick up a modern Jeff Hardy to go with my modern era. I started working on my Ruthless Aggression era because that was the one major era that was kind of lacking in my collection. And I'll be honest with you, it was kind of fun to track down some of these. NXT. I should start developing an NXT shelf. See the first release image for the new pre-order of Legions? Yeah, I have the whole Ogre wave. I have that. That was already, I put in the pre-order back in December. I think I caught it on the last day because I almost forgot about it. And I was like, oh shoot, what are you doing? So I did get that pre-order in. I think they're coming out relatively soon. Because it was a small wave. So I don't know if maybe they're picking things, production up a little bit faster, Yeah, I saw the Goblin today for that the new Goblin. It's essentially just a new head with a different paint deco, but that's their thing, That's what they do. But it looks really cool though. It looks pretty cool. It comes with the King Bromden Iron Jaw mallet. It looks pretty awesome. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked about all of the new Mythic Legions coming out. They look pretty sweet. Really excited for those ogres. I might pick up another one of the Goblin Army Builder ogre ones because I think they're only like $30, which isn't bad for a larger figure that's an Army Builder. I don't think that's a bad price. Did I see the prototypes for Ciampa, Ricochet, and Gargano? Yeah, I saw them. Yep. Yeah, they look great. All the prototypes, I'm really excited about Don Morocco. Oh, I'm so pumped about that. I want more of those. I need more of those style flashbacks from like the was it 70 or the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. That would be awesome if we get more of those. We few and far between. Jason Tran. What are you doing? Thank you so much, man. Andy, what's up, man? I gotta play catch up with your videos again. I started catching up, and I just... Jason, thank you so much. You are awesome, man. You guys are all awesome. You driving your kid to the mall? Thank you, man. You have an awesome day yourself. Thank you so much. Jason, for the $20. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I promise you I will put that money towards a channel. All the money that I've ever gotten I've put towards a channel. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Just doesn't make sense to open a pre-order next Friday open up a pre-order next Friday for Mythics when the in-stock sale hasn't even started yet. Yeah, that's a little weird. I noticed that too, JD. That is a little odd. I would think that, if that's going to go towards I want to say probably till the end of the month, maybe next month, the pre-order. Because usually they do like a whole month for the pre-order, or at least 3 weeks. I would think that they wouldn't overlap them, but usually the in-store sales, they don't last long. They last like a day or two, tops. Because that shit usually sells quick, So I wouldn't worry about it too much with that overlapping because I'm pretty sure that they'll separate the pre-orders from the in-stock stuff. I don't even attempt to buy anything from the in-stock store. I think their last sale was actually a little bit easier to buy. Like I picked up a couple of the Legion builders. You all right, buddy? Oh, oh, he's not feeling good. Okay, come on, bud. Let's go outside. Come on, buddy. Come on. Let's go outside. Sorry, I'm back. My dog wasn't feeling good. I had to let him outside. He was about to I think he was about to throw up. He's got fake money. I think what was it like? I think if that's sent through YouTube, which I think it was, I think YouTube takes like 35% of that. So I'll get like 10, I think I'll get like a little bit more than 10. I think I'll get like $15. I think. I wonder what attire Gargano they'll do. Oh, I know. Um, it's probably going to be an older attire because that's usually they're a little bit further back on the timeline as far as what Mattel does with attires. I want to say maybe they'll do his takeover with Andrade attire. They'll probably do that. Or because they're releasing Ciampa, maybe they'll do his attire with Ciampa. I'm not sure though. I'm just guessing, but that would be my guess. Did I see the thumbnail? Yeah. Hercules, man, he's awesome. He is awesome. You want his Punisher attire? I would love that. That would be awesome. Yeah, Hercules is dope. He's definitely one of my favorites. Favorite Marvel Legends for this year. It looks great. Looks sweet. I love that he comes with extra hands too. It's great. Everything he comes with is, I think, perfect. Kind of wish it was his classic look. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of wish it was just a little bit, but still a great figure. Uh, Nighthawk's okay. The cape is the eye drawing point to the figure, but I kind of wish that maybe a little more of the mask, because I think his design was, yeah, they flare out like a little bit more, and this is just painted on. Oh no, it's not. It's sculpted on, but I felt like his eyes, like they should flare out a little bit more. I'm nitpicking. Like I said, it's a nitpick. It's nothing against the figure, but I'm just, little more would have been nice. Just a little more. I don't know what the heck he ate. He's been having like he's been very gassy, my dog, lately. Whenever something happens with him, I instantly Google it, and I'm like, my dog just did this. What does that mean? Like a paranoid schizophrenic with my dog. But yeah, the Mythic Legion. What was it? The Mythic Legion starts up. The pre-order. There's the pre-order, and then there's and what was it? Oh yeah, the pre-order for the mounts and stuff is coming. That's gonna be one I really want to get into. Is getting those mounts. Need more horses. You wish I had the classic look too. Yeah, me too. Me too, bro. Somebody stole the bat. Oh, God. So annoying. People steal the bath piece. Super stupid. Did you end up buying it? Did you end up getting that Nighthawk anyway? Oh, they had to take it back. Oh, take it in the back. Okay. Sorry, I didn't read the I didn't read the last part. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Doing any toy hunt videos? Uh, I'm still waiting on getting a new phone. I had to go all the way to the stupid mall that's like 25 minutes away. I know it's not a lot. It's not a long time. It's just a pain in the ass. I hate driving. I hate traffic. I can't stand it. But once I get my new phone, I would like to do some toy hunt videos. I'll probably post them on my Facebook page though. I feel like some people love them and some people just can't stand toy hunt videos. So if they're I heard someone talking to my dog. Sorry. That was weird. No more BlackBerry? No, no. I mean, it's close to a BlackBerry. It's pretty old. HTC One. Whoa. It's like 7 years old. All right, let me go let my dog in. I'll be right back. Feeling better, bud? You all right? Pull up that tummy? He's okay, ladies and gentlemen. He's okay. He's all right. You okay, bud? All right. Good job. Good job. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Oh, okay. Paw? Oreo, paw? 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 Come on, do the paw. There we go. Good job, paw. Oh, you're all muddy. Get off me. What are you doing? Go on your couch. Go. Come on. All right, you can stay. Whatever. I'll clean your paws in a minute. I gotta blanket down. I gotta clean the blanket now. It's a thing, right? But you're a good boy. That's right. That's my buddy. Oh, and everyone fell over. Yeah, this thing is so old. I think it's like going on 7 years. Yikes. It still works. But I might switch to the dark side. I might get an iPhone. I don't know how I feel about that. You are all right. You gotta go. Come on, get off the couch. Go. Oh. Yeah, I gotta wash this now. You go on your couch for a little bit. See, look, got my arm muddy. It's all good. It's just mud. I understand. Not the end of the world. It's not even like a lot of mud. It's not like the wet mud, like where it's like overwhelming. It's like two little paw prints. It's like the dry mud. It was actually pretty warm in Buffalo today. It was like, I want to say it was, what is it now? It's 55 degrees right now. And I think it got up to like around 65 today, which is awesome. I know it's hotter in other places, but for Buffalo in April, when it usually just rains all the time in April, it was dry and it was beautiful out. Because I got a 4Runner, and the back window rolls down, which I just love. It's awesome. I had all the windows rolled down, including the back one. I'm driving around, and it's great. Loved it. But, yeah. See, now this is what happens with me with Black Series figures. I pick up like one or two, and then I'm like, I miss you, my friend. My friends, I miss you. Thank you. The troopers, I mean, it's always the troopers, man. The troopers always get me. Whether it's clone troopers, Imperial troopers, every time. And essentially this is like, I want to say the new tooling is the shoulder pads, the backpack, and the helmet. But essentially the rest of the body is the same as a regular stormtrooper. But they always get me. Those damn troopers. They're so good. is it, when does, I gotta check this. Oh, I want to talk about that's what I want to talk about. I wanted to talk about, I brought it up earlier, but I want to talk about it. What do you guys think of the new Star Wars, was it Fallen Order? Do I watch UFC? Uh, usually if I go over to my friend Chris's house, he's always watching UFC. Or not my friend Chris, my other friend Chris. Sorry, I'm thinking of different. Um, if I go over to my friend Chris's house, usually he's watching UFC. I never really got into it. I have all the respect in the world for the guys that do it, but I never really got into UFC. I get why people like it, and it's, I get it. It's a sport. But I don't know. I never really got into it. Still really cool though. Still really cool. I feel like a lot of people blow it out of proportion, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's so barbaric," and I'm like, "Not really." It's no more barbaric than boxing, where people are just basically getting their heads bashed in. What's the difference? No more barbaric than that. But yeah, Harvey, I get why people like it. I'm not hating on it. I think it's it's entertaining to watch. Definitely. The 4-inch Star Wars figures are better. Yeah, they're getting better. I saw some of the prototypes from what was that? Toy Fair. Um, they look pretty cool. I don't know how much I'm going to get into them though. I don't have a lot of 4-inch figures. I sold a lot of them after the vintage line, the original vintage line, kicked. I sold a lot of them to fund a lot of other things. Because that's usually what I'll do. I'll usually sell something to fund something else. So money from this goes into that. That's why I sold all my Luke Celebration Lukes. I ended up selling all of those so I could get what was it? I always wanted the what's wrong with me? I always wanted the Sideshow Collectibles Darth Malgus. So that Star Wars Celebration Luke went to Darth Malgus, and I essentially actually had money left over after selling that Luke to get Malgus, and I bought something else. So that's usually what I do. I try to sell one thing to invest into another thing that I enjoy, maybe more, Because what was it? I walked out a Celebration with 4 Lukes. One I gave away on my channel, and then the other 2 I sold. I think the other 3 I sold. Yeah. The other 3 I sold. And I made a pretty good buck on them. I'm not going to lie. But all that stuff went into the channel, paid some bills, and, invested in a couple other things. So that's usually what I always try to do. I try not to just, spend it on, or just get rid of it. Or at least I have a memory of it invested in something else. So, like, if I sold this Matt Hardy to get another one of these, just using it as an example, but at least I remember that Matt Hardy figure because he went into getting him. Don't know if I already talked about it, but what are my thoughts on the episode 9 trailer? It was meh for me. I don't really have any plans to see episode 9. I'm not really a big fan of the new trilogy. Can't talk. I'm not really a big fan of the new trilogy stuff. So this is the one Star Wars movie where I'm actually ahead of time saying to myself, I'm not going to see it. Maybe if I got free tickets, I'd go see it just to see it because it's free. But I don't plan on investing any money to go see it or anything like that. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the new characters. I feel like the new characters are lacking in a lot of things. I'm not going to really invest my time in characters I don't really care that much about. I dig some of the designs are cool, but the characters themselves are kind of vanilla and a little bit boring. And I don't know. It's nothing special outside of the original trilogy. And even I thought the prequels had better characters than the uh, the new stuff does. I feel like they have more of a backbone than the new characters do. Like I said, the designs are cool, and I have a whole bunch of Kylo Ren figures. I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. Maybe I do, but I have the figures because I dig the designs, not necessarily because I like the story. But I don't know. I'm not a they say it's the Skywalker trilogy. I don't want to get into all this stuff. And essentially, what the original question was, what did I think about the trailer? The trailer itself, I don't know. It's a teaser trailer. I don't really invest anything or time or effort into a teaser trailer. I see it. I'm like, okay. But I know there's a lot of people that like to do trailer breakdowns. That's not my cup of tea. I don't do that stuff. To each their own. If they want to do it, cool. But I don't know. I don't read into trailers. I thought it was. I felt like around the same thing. It's just meh. It's just another Star Wars new trilogy movie that I don't really care to see. I'm not trying to sound like one of those typical jaded Star Wars fans, because there's a lot of those out there where they're like, oh, screw this, screw Rey, she's a Mary Sue. That's not why. That's not remotely why I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm saying what I'm saying because I just personally nothing really stands out for me. And I mean, even Luke is kind of lame. I'm going to be honest with you. To me, this new Luke is just, I don't know. They didn't really spend a whole lot of time on him, and for the trilogy being a Skywalker trilogy and Luke being who he is, I thought that they would have spent more time on him or with him. I understand you're supposed to, bring in the next generation, but I don't know. I would have done things differently. I could spend a whole video talking about this, but I don't want to. It's just, I don't know. It's just Disney, Star Wars is not my cup of tea. I think some stuff, you might as well just come up now. I mean, you already got the blanket all muddy. It's okay. Okay. I know. Yeah, good point. I think Disney, where it shines is their animation and stuff is gotten better. I don't know. I feel like some of the designs are a little bit too earthy. While I dig like Kylo's design, his Episode 7 design a lot. I like that design a lot because it's a reminder of a couple different characters molded into one as far as design worthy goes. I feel like some of them, as far as Episode 7 and 8 go, as far as the troopers, I felt like the troopers were very earth toned, kind of boring a little bit as far as designs only go. I felt like some of the designs, like what was it, the jackets, it needs to be livened up a little bit because we got so much different, I don't know, imagination as far as the designs went for the original trilogy and even the prequels. Like Bespin, everyone was like wearing white and elegant or light blues, and it wasn't towards in the beginning of the film, the beginning and the middle of the film, you've got these like bright tones and everything is so nice because you're up in the clouds and it made perfect sense and everything looks so cool. And then towards the end of the movie, you got these like a little bit darker, a little bit darker, a little bit darker tones. But it made sense because of how darker the movie was getting. So it worked within that. With the new trilogy stuff, it just kind of seems like it's all like earth tones, and then it doesn't fit in with some scenes. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm reading into it too much, but some of the designs I feel like they need to liven it up a little bit more. Maybe not make it so dull. Like look at what was it, A New Hope, and you look at A New Hope, even in the first scene, and you see the rebel troopers with those the kind of sperm helmets. I like to call them. I don't know why, but the sperm helmets, and and they've got like the light blues, the whites, grays, and black. I mean, that's a plethora of different colors right there that you have in just one character's design, where it livens up and it works within the scenes. I'm not saying that earth tones don't work within scenes, because they do, but sometimes they kind of blend so well into the scene where it's almost forgotten. Where there's nothing like these designs you remember. I know this is technically a expanded universe, I think, because these were never seen in a film. But the point I'm trying to make is that I would like to see something that really stands out. Like Kylo Ren stands out, and he looks cool. The character maybe is a little bit different of a story, but the design looks great. I would like more of that indulged within the next movie, or not the next movie, episode 9. I mean, within future releases, maybe they get out of that doldrums design. And if you feel like a lot is forced, no pun. Well, I mean, it is. I mean, there's times are changing, and there's certain things going on within movies that are changing. Some make sense, some don't. I'm not going to point out specifics, but whenever you see change throughout history, it always is to the extreme, and then it starts to they start to realize the error of their ways and try to do it the right way, but it's always like 5 or 10 years after the fact. So, you've got a lot of stuff going on in movies within the last 10 years that have changed drastically. Like I said, some for the good and some not for the good. So, I mean, that's always going to happen. So, I don't know. New Star Wars trilogy, episode 7, I'm not going to lie, it got me pumped for the next movie, but then the next movie just really let me down as far as what I would like to see. And I understand that what I like to see is totally different from what maybe the masses want to see. So, but for me, I have my own gripes with specifics. Um, 4-inch figures. Yeah, that's true, action figure expert. You had a lot of 4-inch figures back in the day. It was kind of still the 4-inch era, The 4-inch era went from essentially the early 80s all the way up until around 2010. And then it kind of trickled off after that, because Marvel Legends essentially paved the way for 6-inch figures, them and DCUC. Those two lines started that whole 6-inch revolution. Now everyone wants 6-inch, because now you're seeing kids that have grown up and they're in their teens or in their 20s, and they're like, I need 6-inch everything. But they didn't grow up like that 30 to 40 to 50 year old range all grew up with 3 3/4 inch, and that's happened throughout history, where certain lines just go away. Remember the 12-inch figures from G.I. Joe? Those were a big hit in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. come the 80s, everything changed, and a lot of people were pissed off then too. You know, well, why aren't we getting our 12-inch figures anymore? There's a lot of reasons. You know, you weren't going to be able to get vehicles and stuff that you would get with a 4-inch figure, and then people started seeing how the era was changing and how things were changing for, you know, just a different style. You know, you still had, I know you had 12-inch figures with like maybe a Jeep here and there, a helicopter, stuff like that, but that was few and far between, and you're definitely not going to get that now unless it's like $200 or $300, because everything has changed as far as price point, economies change, everything. So, you know, that changed with 12-inch. It went to 4-inch, and now it's 6-inch everything. And I'm sure maybe it'll change it down the road and go back to 4-inch because maybe it's more cost effective. Which I still think in my brain, you know, if I'm a toy company and you have, you know, maybe not the biggest crowd anymore, but you still have a crowd that wants those 4-inch figures. Like, I collect Marauders. A lot of you guys that watch me collect Marauders. They collect G.I. Joe. They collect Boss Fight. They collect 4-inch figures. You know, you collect the vintage Star Wars figures, which were 4-inch figures, you know. The vintage collection, not the vintage figures, but you know what I'm saying. Or you collect the vintage G.I. Joe figures from the actual 80s line. You know, that's what you like. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of that generation that we grew up in the you know, in the 80s and into the 90s, you know, that generation is starting to gain more momentum, I should say, as far as what drives the action figure community. Do I ever make my own dioramas? No, I am not that artistic. I'm artistically challenged in that in that sense. I know it looks a lot easier. Like, I watched The Budget Jedi, and he's fantastic. And he's like, "Oh, it's not that hard." It's like, yeah. I mean, I would love to do it, but I guess I would have to like figure something out. And I would like to do, if I were to do it, I would love to do something original and not just cut and paste. I'm going to do this scene from this panel, you know, because that's easy to do. But for me, I don't know that, and I'm terrible with paint. You put paint in my hand, and it's gonna just no. I went to art school for theater, not for actual art. You know, actual like drawing art, stuff like that. My sister can, oh my god, my sister's such a great artist. She's fantastic. It's too bad she never did anything with that. As far as drawing and painting and such, she's so good. What's up, Gaz? How you doing, buddy? Thank you. I appreciate it. What's this Mandalorian show I'm hearing about? Oh, yeah. The Mandalorian show is only going to be available on the Disney Network. So you have to purchase the Disney Network. I don't know. I don't know if I care enough to... They're going to have multiple shows. They're doing the exact same thing that the WWE Network has done for years. Since I want to say 2011 is when the network started, the WWE Network. I care more about the WWE than I do the Disney Network, because I've invested over 30 years into wrestling. When it comes to Disney, I don't really give a shit that much. Star Wars I love. Don't get me wrong, I love Star Wars. I grew up with Star Wars. I have a ton of Black Series figures. I almost have every single figure. I've started I bought every figure since the line started. And I'm talking blue label, orange label, to the modern red label ones. But the thing is, I mean, the shows that are being offered, I am intrigued by the Mandalorian show, and I get they're going to have all the Marvel stuff, but in that same tone, I don't know. I mean, I have the majority of the Marvel movies. I don't really need a network to put more money into. Plus, on top of that, I'm already paying for Netflix. I get what I want from Netflix, and I like the original series that they give. I mean, I could see a comic book movie, and it's a comic book movie at this state of the game. You know, comic book movies have been going on for over 10 years. That's insane. You know, so when you think about it, I've got my fill of comic book movies. Once Endgame happens, I'm gonna take a break for a little while from comic book movies, unless Blade comes out. New Blade comes out, you bet your bottom dollar I'm gonna be at that movie. I'll be there. Opening night, I will be there for the next Blade movie, and that's supposed to happen. And I hear that's supposed to be about him and his daughter, him training his daughter, which I'm not gonna lie has me a little worried. But if they do it right, it won't bother me one bit. If they do it wrong and they go the Captain Marvel route, me no so happy. uh, you're guilty about 4-inch figures? Hey, it's hey, that's what we grew up on, man. That's what we started do. That's what we started collecting. I mean, look, all Ninja Turtles figures are essentially 4-inch figures too. So, and I had a ton of those. I had a ton of Joes. Even the old X-Men figures, you know, they were essentially 4-inch figures. Toy Biz came out, they were 4-inch figures, you know. I had a ton of those. Those were like the big 3 lines I was into. Well, 4. There's 4. All the superhero figures, like the DC superheroes ones. As kind of cheesy as those were, I loved them. And very gimmicky. I still loved them. What time is it? Holy Toledo. Oh my god, I've been out here for 117 minutes. That's crazy. But yeah. In the Marvel shows as well. Yeah. It's cheaper than Netflix. Yeah, I think Netflix is going up in price. But you quote me and you watch. The WWE Network is going up in price. They're doing tiers now. Instead of the regular $9.99 for everything, they're going to do tiers. Now watch. I bet you everyone follows suit after that. Because everyone has followed suit with WWE since Netflix and since... Well, Netflix is the originator of the pay-to-watch demographic, or the pay-to-watch network style. And then WWE took their idea and went a little bit of a different route where they kind of offer more. I mean, as far as subject matter goes, WWE Network probably offers more than anybody will, because they have, oh my god, thousands of hours of wrestling on that. We can watch any wrestling pay-per-view from the AWA to the NWA to, oh no, not the NWA, I'm sorry, no. AWA, WCW, all the WWE stuff, including back to the WWF days, the early WWF days. I mean, you can watch more hours of content on that, but that's a specific matter, you know. Where Disney Channel, I mean, you can touch on, you can get little kids. I mean, I get the selling point of the Disney Network. To me, I get why they're going to do it. At the end of the day, it's a business decision, and since they own the content, they don't have to offer content to anyone else. But I think it's just kind of a little bit of a shitty thing to do to Netflix. Kind of ganking a whole bunch of content away from a service that was started, essentially, all of this. I don't know. I'm sure they'll thrive, and they've actually been doing really well with like Bird Box and all these different Netflix movies and stuff like that, and like their series. And I'm sure the series that were pulled from Netflix from Marvel will continue on the Disney Network. That's why they were pulled. But, you know, you watch. They're going to do the tier thing. I guarantee it. Because everyone seems to follow suit. Fallen Order. Yeah. As far as Fallen Order goes, the trailer looked really good. And I was actually talking to the the guy from GameStop about it. I was like, so what do you? He's like, what do you think about Fallen Order? And I was like, I hope it's third person because I'm really sick and tired of first person at this point. If I get one more first person shooter, so if it's first person shooter, I'll probably pass on it. If it's I feel like it's got to be third person because if you're gonna be a Jedi, you don't want to just stare at a sword in your hand the whole time, you know. Oh, this is my sister. Hold on one second, guys. Hello. Thank you so much. Are you gonna be you're gonna have your phone near you? Or can I call you right back? Okay. My sister wanted to say happy birthday. But yeah, Fallen Order looks really cool. The trailer looked pretty interesting. Certain things I would love to see in Fallen Order. I know it's essentially, I think they cast the kid that's in what is he in? He's in Gotham. He plays the Joker. He's also I don't watch Gotham, but I know he's in Gotham. He plays the Joker. And he's in Shameless, because I watch Shameless. But he's essentially the main character. I would love another Star Wars game where it's kind of can create your own character in that. That's why I loved the whatchamacallit, the Knights of the Old Republic and Knights of the Old Republic 2, because you could essentially create your own character and run through that whole thing, even though you're supposed to be a certain someone, which I won't spoil it for anyone in case they haven't played it, but you still feel like it's your own character. Like you build throughout the story as your own character through your powers, your moveset, everything. I've always been a fan of being able to create your own character and being able to do stuff like that. So that would be something cool. I doubt that it's in this Fallen Order, but hopefully maybe down the road we'll get something like that. I'm still kind of upset that we never got that smuggler / bounty hunter. What was the name of that going to be? What was that called? It was called it's like a number or something. I can't remember. 1313, that's what it was. Yeah, Star Wars 1313. I was really excited about that game, and the fact that just got scrapped because Disney owned it. Because actually that was, I think, being in production before Disney bought Lucasfilm, and that was supposed to be like Lucasfilm's last hurrah before they went to Disney, and then it got delayed, and then once it got delayed, I was like, not coming out. I knew it right then as soon as it got delayed the first time, and then Lucasfilm was sold, and that's why they delayed it. I knew it was never going to get made because Disney didn't want anything to do with what Lucasfilm was doing before. You know, it's like they want to put the kibosh on anything that was before Disney. It's like, can a company just be bought and just like accept things that are? This is the problem I have with Disney. Whenever I get you're a corporation, you want to put your own stamp, but do that after. Don't 86 shit that was already in development, that was already being worked on before. I mean, that's how you piss fans off. Disney's a big proponent of pissing a lot of fans off, and it just kind of and they love putting the kibosh on shit that's intriguing, that could have been fun. And like they killed off, what was it, that open world game that we were supposed to get. And I'm sure Fallen Order will be a fun game to play if it's third person and you can play as a Jedi and all that. And maybe you'll get a little bit of the Force Unleashed vibe from it. But at the end of the day, where's my open world game at this point? It was almost in development twice. I don't understand why they've been shafted. I mean, I get why they've been shafted. I'm asking a rhetorical question because I understand the story of why they've been shafted, these two games. But it's like, come on, man. Like, it's like when a prototype figure comes out. Like, they say this is a prototype figure, and they release it. Oh, this will be released next year. And then it gets kiboshed. And you're like, well, shit. And then like 4 years later, they decide to come out with it, and it's like, well, what the hell? Why didn't you just release it to begin with? If you had the license with the I just this is the type of shit that Disney does that just annoys the shit out of me. And then they try to pull shit like go see Dumbo again. Like, what? Dumbo? I've already seen Dumbo. I saw the cartoon Dumbo. Why do I need to see a live action version of Dumbo? It's like a waste of time and money. That was supposed to be Boba Fett before he became a badass bounty hunter. We all love. Yeah, you know, where'd the Boba Fett movie go? You know, we got the Solo movie when we should have got the Boba Fett movie. And then we got friggin' Lion King. Yeah, exactly, Crash. We got friggin' Lion King again. Like, I already seen Lion King. What do I need to see a live action version of Lion King for? Same thing with Aladdin. They're doing all live action versions of shit that we've already seen. Don't let them pull that trick on you guys. No. Not happening here. Not getting my money. Oh no, you're not. But that's the thing, you know? It's like, why aren't we getting new content instead of putting money into shit we've already seen? This is what I'm talking about. When a huge corporation buys everything and they own all these properties, they don't have a vision. They just know that these properties sell, like Star Wars, like anything they bought, like Marvel. They just know that they don't have to necessarily put all the effort that they need to put into it, just enough where it's okay, and move on. Like, you can even see the dip in the Marvel movies now. They're starting to slowly go down, you know? So, you know, I would have preferred, like, I still like the Solo movie. It was a lot of fun to watch, but it's not a movie anyone asked for. But I'm sure a lot more people would have loved to go see Boba Fett, but they didn't have the faith in Boba Fett was going to sell, which is stupidity. So, I don't know. It is. I hate saying this. I hate when people say it, but it literally is what it is. They're going to do things to spite themselves, even though it's not necessarily the right thing to do by the fans. But yet they say it's... Thanks, Dem Guts. Nice to see you, brother. You know, they're a big corporation. This is the problem I have with pro wrestling now, with WWE. They don't give a shit about doing something that's creative, actually. They just want to do the status quo. They're making money hand over fist. They could care less. They know that whatever product they put out there is going to be mediocre, and you're going to go see it anyway. So... they don't have to put forth an effort because they're not a small company anymore. You know, they own everything. That's why I don't like... I'll be honest, is that corporation, Disney and the WWE, they suck. They suck. They love putting out mediocre shit. And, I mean, I guess you could give them a pass for the Marvel stuff, but the Marvel stuff has been declining. Since Winter Soldier, it's been declining. Sure, it sells. And that's what everyone goes at. Well, if it's failing, why'd it sell 1 billion globally? The Transformers movies suck. And they made a ton of money. So I hate when people use that argument, you know? They're like, oh, it sold a ton of money. So? It made a ton of money, I mean. And? That doesn't mean it's a good movie. Tons of shitty movies have been made, or mediocre movies that have been made that made tons of money. That's because people went to go see it without knowing what it is. And when they came out of the theater, they're like, this movie sucked. Like, it never made sense to me that people use that excuse. Well, it made tons of money. Great. Tons of shit movies made a ton. Then, you know, it's like... G.I. Joe made money. Those movies sucked. You know? So I don't know. I never got that argument. It doesn't make any sense. So I mean, if you're gonna use an argument, use it that it is actually a good movie and give like reasons why. You know, if you're gonna put out good content and you think it's good, give me reasons why it's good content. You know, this is the problem that I have with trailers now because trailers they show you a quarter of the movie essentially, like with certain trailers. Most Marvel movies they play with you, and they do that. They do the same thing with Star Wars trailers. That's why I don't even read into trailers anymore. But certain trailers like Alien, the Aliens franchise, they'll show you like a quarter of the movie, so you already know where it's going. Yeah, they did. They did. Yeah, the Joe movies were not very good. But you know, that's what big companies do, man. I mean, there's a multi-billion-dollar company in Disney. They're a big enough company where they can buy other big companies. That's not good. I'll quote Vince McMahon and say, you know, how he says that's what's best for business. That's not good for fans, though. Fans' business because ugh, get a you get a stranglehold over a franchise, and I don't know. They'll start putting out mediocre content. You know, this is why, and a lot of people will shit on the prequels and stuff from Star Wars, and with certain things I do agree with, you know, but people always shit on the specific things like, oh, the CGI sucked. Okay, a lot of CGI sucked in the early 2000s. A lot of CGI doesn't hold up from the the late 90s. You know, a lot of that stuff doesn't hold up. It's a product of the time. You know, like it. I hate that shit. Also, the fact that people don't understand like what good things the prequels did, and this is why I always bang the table for the prequels because the prequels gave you the Clone Wars saga, which was fantastic, and that's why another reason why it's being brought back is due to the fans only, and not anyone else, because people have been yearning for that, and it shouldn't have been canceled as quickly as it was when Disney got it, and that was only due to what Disney wanted to do their own thing and not do something that was successful before them. That's not necessarily what's best for business. If something sells, then continue to do so, right? Oh, you gotta think like a big corporation, right? But yet again, are we still gonna get the quality? That's the other question. Don't know if we're gonna get the quality that it once was. We'll have to wait and see. You know, jury's out on that. But I don't know. When it comes to the prequels, what I will bang the table for is that they actually, and you can look it up. If you're a Star Wars fan, you'll probably already know this. But for those of you that aren't Star Wars fans, they introduced something that when the original trilogy movies came out, they hadn't yet introduced it, but it was introduced just after or in between. But when they first came out, I want to say between the first 2 to 3 films, they introduced, you know, the Jedi fighting style. There's multiple different fighting styles, and while it is within, I want to say more so the Last Jedi or the Return of the Last Jedi, the Return of the Jedi with Luke and Vader and how they have their specific fighting styles. And they introduced it more so after that within the expanded universe. But it was really, really within the prequels where they used that. And they used that martial arts fighting style that was actually established within the canon with Lucasfilm. And then they put, as soon as Disney got it, they put the kibosh on that shit and they were back to chopping wood. You know, doing this back and forth with no recollection of anything that had become before them, and especially seeing as Kylo Ren was trained by Luke Skywalker, which was trained by Yoda, which was trained by, which trained a majority of the Jedi in said fighting styles. Like there's different styles for each. Like Mace Windu has his own fighting style. Yoda has his own fighting style, and he actually uses the Force to jump around. So when you see Yoda just hopping around, that's not just him hopping around. That's him using the Force to move his body around. That's part of his fighting style. And a lot of people don't understand that, and they just think that he's a little guy hopping around. No, he's using the Force to move his body so he can use that to his advantage, because he's already, as far as size goes, he's at a disadvantage. So he has to use the Force to his advantage. It makes perfect sense when you think about it. And it's all martial arts fighting styles. It's actual real life martial arts fighting styles being molded together with the whole lore of Star Wars and the Jedi and how they fight. So that's why I love the prequels, and a lot of people want to make fun of it and say, "Oh, they're doing the what is it? They're doing rave glow sticks." No, that's actual martial arts. You're just ignorant to it, so you don't get it. But you can look it up. You can Wikipedia it. They have a whole book on the different Jedi martial arts fighting styles. There's different forms to each. I think there was, what is it? I want to say there's around, and there's Sith and there's Jedi fighting forms. So, I mean, there's a bunch of different ones. So, it's just a lot of cool stuff that the prequels did do that people don't necessarily know about because they haven't divulged themselves entirely into it. So, when you hear people making fun of the prequels, it's because they're ignorant to what actually is as opposed to what they think it is. So, but Lucas tried to do different stuff, and I gotta at least give him credit for that, because when you look at all the different trilogies, when you look, they're all different from each other. Granted, they are. The original trilogy is kind of its own thing, and then Lucas tried to do his something different. And in a lot of ways it worked, in a lot of ways it didn't. But at least he tried something different. And it made sense going into the next, within the, being a prequel and going into the original trilogy. It made sense, So, I don't know. But then when it comes to the new trilogy stuff, there's a lot that doesn't make sense. There's some forced things, and, no pun intended, but there's a lot of forced things that are just being adapted for the story just to push the new character when it doesn't seem like it's a natural progression of said character. You're just getting, okay, we did this scene. Now this scene's going to happen, and it's just going to happen for the sake of happening, because that's what I want it to do. We're getting a lot of these younger directors that are just doing things for the sake of doing them, as opposed to giving us reasons as to why they're doing them, or showing us as to why the characters are doing what they're doing for that reason. It's just do it. It's just done, because that's what I want. So you're seeing a lot of spoiled brat directors is the point I'm trying to make. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that whole thing. I know I ranted there for quite a while, so I apologize if that was Borefest, Snooze Fest 2019. I always wanted to see. You always want to see what Yoda would look like using a lightsaber, and was happy to see it. Don't know why people are upset about it. Because, like I said, and I loved it too. I was like, because it's so cool to see the mental dynamic of Yoda. And for the most part, us seeing Yoda at that time being this kind of, powerful force wielder, but we had never seen him use his dueling powers. So when you think about it, at this point he's going on 900 years old, and he's using his cane. He's very slow moving, very methodical at this point, and you wanted to see that switch. And once you got the switch, it seems like people couldn't accept a guy that was methodical just all of a sudden flipping around. And it's like, but if you understood the mental aspect too, because Yoda had always taught, I'm small, I'm little, you don't believe I can do something, extraordinary, just because of my size and the way I look. But yet people watching the movie couldn't believe they could flip around and do all of that. This is the thought process that people don't realize. They don't get. Like, he lifted a friggin' X-wing with little ease in Empire Strikes Back, and even Luke. That was the point. That was the kind of the setup for even the prequel, because all this stuff was written prior. The prequels are supposed to come out after the original trilogy because it made sense. Because if you watch the prequels first, it ruins a lot of what happens, that surprise. This is why if you introduce someone new to the trilogy, you got to have them watch the original trilogy first, then the prequels. But they set it up for the prequel. So it made perfect sense to have him do that. But people didn't get it. They're like, I don't get it. Why is he flipping around? Well, just because you don't get it at the moment doesn't mean that it doesn't make sense necessarily. So you got to think of the thought process behind it, and there's going to obviously be a buildup. But the problem with the new stuff is that there's not a whole lot of buildup, and stuff doesn't kind of really make sense a whole lot when you think of it logically. Now, granted, the third movie is supposed to come out, but I can't see them tying everything in and make things make sense enough. I'm not saying every little detail needs to make sense, but I'm saying for the majority of it to make sense, and for the majority of it to be entertaining, and for the majority of it to be accepted, you're fighting an uphill battle. You really are. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of, like, Jurassic Park, like, a lot of people say Jurassic Park holds up now. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I definitely don't know about that. But I will say this. It is definitely the best CGI of the 90s. Period. Definitely. What do I think about the title referencing to? I don't think that you should read anything into that title. The Last Jedi didn't mean anything, essentially. Literally. If you're looking into it literally, I would not read anything into it. It's all cloak and dagger, pulling the wool over your eyes type of stuff. They want you to read into it, but, to the casual viewers, the casual people that say, I love Star Wars and I want to go see it, and they'll love it either way. Okay, to those viewers, they'll probably read into it literally and be like, "Oh, Rey's going to be the next Skywalker." I doubt it. I highly doubt it. And I might be eating my words come December, January, whatever. But I don't think that's the route they want to go. I really don't. I wouldn't read much into it. Rise of the Skywalker could just be Luke rising after disappearing, Maybe Kylo flips. I don't know. Yeah, maybe Kylo. Yeah. I don't know. It could mean a lot of things. I'm not going to read into it too much. It's just a title. Where titles, in the original trilogy, they were understandable. Like A New Hope made sense, even though it was just called Star Wars originally. Then they retitled it A New Hope after. A New Hope meant, Luke was the New Hope, the next New Hope. Then Empire Strikes Back was exactly what it was meant to be. But now the titles nowadays for movies, they try to. Okay, guys, take it easy, buddy. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. Thank you for the happy birthday wish. I appreciate it, buddy. But titles nowadays, they try to confuse people and make you think one thing and not the other. S. Myers, what's going on, man? Thank you for the happy birthday. Appreciate it. I do have to get going soon. Uh, I do have to get going kind of soon though. But I'm glad to have spent time with you guys. I would love to, divulge more into the Star Wars stuff. I just don't know how many people want to hear me rant about fucking Star Wars for an hour. Thanks, Oscar. Thank you. But, it's fun to kind of just rant about stuff sometimes. It is fun. And I'm not saying, like, the original trilogy didn't leave stuff out. It didn't work perfectly. I understand that. But for the most part, I really don't think that there's better work to be done than the original trilogy. Where I kind of wish that Return of the Jedi was just what it was. The end, and then I would have liked to see what would have happened with Luke, but obviously they couldn't do that because of, a lot of different reasons. Luke, Mark Hamill's older, so they had to go a little bit further in the future, obviously. But, still to this day, I kind of wish that we would have gotten episode 7, 8, and 9 in a different way. And I understand Lucas actually wanted to. This will be my end remark about the Star Wars stuff, I promise. I understand that Lucas had wanted originally himself, before he sold it to Disney, he wanted the next generation to be handed the torch. And that's fine, but it seems like he had more of a vision to hand the torch than Disney's vision to hand the torch. Where wasn't really handed off. It was kind of just ripped out of the previous character's hands, and I don't know. It's whatever. If you like it, you like it. You like it, great, awesome. You like the new trilogy, cool. Me personally, not my cup of tea. Oh, happy birthday! Happy 65th birthday! Thank you for joining me. Been trying to get a few customs up. So behind. Just working on Star Wars. Happy birthday as well. Well, happy birthday to you too. Richter. Happy birthday to you too. It's actually nice to talk about. So I haven't talked about Star Wars in a long time, so it's actually nice to talk about it. Thanks, Woodman. Thank you. Thank you so much. My phone sounds like a duck. Quack, quack. That's quacktastic. But, yeah, I think I'm going to cut it here. I've been on for about 148 minutes. Holy Jesus. Thank you for everyone hanging out. I hope I was entertaining enough for you guys. Like I said, awesome figure. Go pick them up if you like Hercules. Granted, I'd still, I'll reiterate again for the third time. Kind of wish it was his classic design. Still a good figure. He's cool. He's not featured too much. Read into his character. I won't give any spoilers out there, but read into his character. He's actually pretty decent, I think. His design is a little wonky, It's okay. Maybe he could use a little bit of an update, but he's all right. The Jump Trooper, definitely I would recommend go pick him up. I'm going to do a full review on him, and I'm going to do a review on him. I'm probably going to do one big collaboration review on the Star Wars stuff. So it'll all be one big live video, and I'll just do that. It's just easier that way with the Star Wars stuff, as opposed to giving them each one individual review. It's a lot of fun to actually discuss this stuff with you guys. This way we can talk more stuff about the Star Wars universe in general. Yeah, you guys have a great night. Enjoy, if you have off tomorrow like I do for Good Friday, enjoy your day off. Enjoy your weekend. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much to everybody for the happy birthday wishes. You guys are so cool, so great, and really just means a lot to me. Um, Thank you so much, Zorpox. Thank you, Crash. Thank you, Woodman. Thank you, Richter, for popping by. Happy 65th birthday to Richter today. I'll get there one day, Richter. I'll get there one day. Oscar, have a great one. Andy, as always, brother, keep up the good work on your channel. Go check out Andy. Go check out, what was it, Crash? Or no, Zorpox. Go check out Zorpox. Go check out Strident. Obviously, that's my like brother from another mother, like Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. Go check him out. Go check out Soul Drum. And you guys have all been awesome. Thank you to everybody on here. You guys have been great. Have a great day. I'm gonna go, for a late dinner with a bunch of my friends. Tomorrow I'm supposed to go to Canada for the half of the day. I'm going early in the morning, so I gotta kind of go to sleep a little early tonight. But I'm gonna try and get some content done tomorrow and throughout the weekend. Hopefully, I get this stuff in from Amazon for the rest of the Star Wars stuff. That would be cool. I'm probably gonna shoot his review, so he's coming up. And as far as reviews go, I have lost complete track of what the hell I'm doing. It's almost like if I have this figure in front of me, oh, I remember to do his review. ADD sucks. Let me just tell you guys. But you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. Thank you, Jason Tran, for the donation. You didn't have to do that, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And you guys have a great day, and